Ladies and gentlemen, inflation has hit school lunches. That's right, the price of school lunches are going up. And to add insult to injury, there's going to be less menu options this year. So, if you want your child to remain in school, either if they're part of a free lunch program, then you'll be fine. But if not, you're definitely going to have to dig deeper in your wallets this year. So it should be no surprise. With the inflation, I don't know how you would avoid raising the prices when food prices have been skyrocketing in America. I'm going to go ahead and play this audio for you from the Wall Street Journal.
Inflation hits school lunches as districts cut menu items and raise meal prices. Families are paying more for limited meal options this year as districts see higher food costs and the loss of pandemic funding. By Ben Chapman. November 2nd, 2022, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Families across the country are facing higher costs and fewer options for school meals as districts contend with rising food and labor prices and the loss of universal free pandemic meals, according to food service managers. Many districts across the country have raised prices for school food by as much as 50 cents a meal this year, as they face ingredient prices that have risen by 50% or more. Some have reduced the number of choices for meals available to students in a cost-cutting measure, as they also grapple with the expiration in June of a federal relief program that provided funding for free lunches for all students amid the pandemic. School food service managers in Kansas, Virginia, and Missouri, among other states, said they have had no choice but to cut back on menu items such as fresh oranges and red meat while passing rising costs onto families. Sarah Kemmerling, daycare provider in Lafayette, Colorado, and mother of two, said the end of free school meals this year and a price increase of 50 cents to $4 a lunch put additional pressure on her household finances, which were already tight. Ms. Kemmerling's family paid about $140 for school meals for her two children in 4th and 7th grades last month, a figure that was higher than her utility bills, she said. Our household's annual income is about $55,000, she said, including wages earned by her husband, a mechanic. We were right on the cusp of qualifying for free lunches, she said. The impact of the end of universal free lunch and rising consumer prices was reflected in a Labor Department report last month that showed the Consumer Price Index, which measures what consumers pay for goods and services, rose by 8.2% in September from a year earlier. In unadjusted terms, not all families are feeling the price hikes. California and Maine passed laws to continue free school meals after the federal universal program ended over the summer. Other states, including Colorado, are considering similar legislation. Big districts with high poverty rates, such as New York City, continue to receive federal funding for universal free lunches under a special program. Mary Rochelle, who is program grants and communications lead for the Boulder Valley School District, where Miss Kemmerling's children attend school, said that many families there have experienced similar pressures with the end of the pandemic federal free lunch program. Ms. Rochelle said the district was hesitant to increase prices for meals this year for the first time since 2016 because of financial hardships faced by families in the pandemic. But, she said, rising food and labor costs compelled the district to do so. We have a lot of families who are kind of in this gray area of not necessarily having enough money to feel like they are comfortable in their budget and can buy school meals, but they also don't qualify for the free and reduced meal programs, she said. Like other school systems across the county, Boulder Valley School District has faced sharp increases in the cost of ingredients. Many of the steepest rises they have seen are for products made with wheat. The cost of flour used by the district has risen 55% since February, Ms. Rochelle said. The cost of dough for pizza, a perennial staple in school cafeterias in Boulder and elsewhere, has risen 38% since June. The cost of corn tortilla chips, used in popular nachos dishes, jumped 53% since August, she said. To lessen the blow of higher prices for ingredients and the loss of universal free school lunch funding in June, the federal government in July increased reimbursement by up to 68 cents per free/reduced price lunch and 32 cents per free/reduced price breakfast. The increase helped, but it hasn't prevented the necessity of price increases in districts nationwide, said Lori Atkins, president of the School Nutrition Association and a child nutrition consultant for Oakland Schools in Michigan. Ms. Atkins said many districts have increased prices by 20 cents a meal or more because of rising food and labor costs. Many have also reduced the number of choices available to students, she said, by limiting or eliminating expensive ingredients like red meat and substituting packaged fruit for fresh oranges. School food service managers said lunches are still nutritious. The federal government has extended a waiver for this school year to ensure schools won't be penalized if they can't meet meal standards due to supply chain issues. Many districts this year won't be able to serve turkey for Thanksgiving, Ms. Atkins said, because prices for that meat have grown too high. If they didn't pre-order and secure those turkey buys back in the summer, it's unlikely, she said. I don't think there's any turkey out there right now. Ms. Kemmerling and her husband discussed whether she should pick up additional shifts in her part-time job at the daycare to pay for school meals for their children, before she finally obtained an approval that enabled her children to qualify for free meals beginning this month. She said the family is already paying more for groceries since the pandemic, making the prospect of paying for school lunches especially stressful. It definitely was something that made me very anxious each month to think about how and where that money was going to come from, she said.
Okay. So, I'm kind of glad they brought up the turkey because it's going to be another shortage this year, but even worse because not only do you have a struggling turkey population, I'm not talking about wild turkeys, they have domestic turkeys that are raised on farms. And many of them were wiped out by bird flu. And they were already struggling to get the turkey population up from the time of the lockdown all the way up until now. And they have not been able to turn that situation around at all. And I believe it was over the summer when they did announce that there was going to be a turkey shortage this year again. And with bird flu, which is still here in America, the bird flu is still here. It hasn't gone anywhere. With that, on top of an already low population of domestic birds, yeah, it's going to be a difficult one. So, chances are you're going to see turkeys, but you're not going to see as many out on the market. And like they said, when you see it, you better grab it if you're one of those people that believe in Thanksgiving. Me, I'll eat turkey if I feel like it. But to be honest with you, because I don't do the holidays, which are coming up this month. But to be honest with you, I've been leaning towards having more vegetables and less meat these days. But I'm sure we're all different and everybody got their own preference when it comes down to what you eat. But y'all, please tell me what you think about this video. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.